Welcome. Today we will be reading lesson 254 in the workbook, and from the text, chapter 21, section 7, the last unanswered question, paragraphs 1 through 6. And now for lesson 254. Let every voice but God's be still in me. Father, today I would but hear your voice. In deepest silence I would come to you to hear your voice and to receive your word. I have no prayer but this. I come to you to ask you for the truth, and truth is but your will, which I would share with you today. Today we let no ego thoughts direct our words or actions. When such thoughts occur, we quietly step back and look at them, and then we let them go. We do not want what they would bring with them, and so we do not choose to keep them. They are silent now, and in the stillness, hallowed by His love, God speaks to us and tells us of our will, as we have chosen to remember Him. Let one listen only to the voice of truth today. For truth is all that one asks for. In the stillness and quiet will its presence be revealed. For only truth's guidance does one call upon today. Let one dismiss all other voices, which only offer beliefs in attack and limitation that lead to nowhere. Yet if alien voices do arise, one will impartially release them into the nothingness in which they were born. For what they offer has no value or worth. Their senseless noise serves no helpful purpose. And so now they are gone, with only silence and clarity remaining in this present moment. And does one only hear now the call for peace? And now for our text reading for today, from chapter 21, section 7, the last unanswered question, paragraphs 1 through 6. Do you not see that all your misery comes from the strange belief that you are powerless. Being helpless is the cost of sin. Helplessness is sin's condition, the one requirement that it demands to be believed. Only the helpless could believe in it. Enormity has no appeal save to the little, and only those who first believe that they are little could see attraction there. Treachery to the Son of God is the defense of those who do not identify with him. And you are for him or against him. Either you love him or attack him. Protect his unity or see him shattered and slain by your attack. No one believes the Son of God is powerless, and those who see themselves as helpless must believe that they are not the Son of God. What can they be except his enemy? And what can they do but envy him his power, and by their envy make themselves afraid of it? These are the dark ones, silent and afraid, alone and not communicating, fearful the power of the Son of God will strike them dead, and raising up their helplessness against him. They join the army of the powerless to wage their war of vengeance, bitterness, and spite on him, to make him one with them. Because they do not know that they are one with him, they know not whom they hate. They are indeed a sorry army, each one as likely to attack his brother or turn upon himself as to remember that they thought they had a common cause. Frantic and loud and strong, the dark ones seem to be, yet they know not their enemy, except they hate him. In hatred they have come together, but have not joined each other. For had they done so, hatred would be impossible. The army of the powerless must be disbanded in the presence of strength. Those who are strong are never treacherous, because they have no need to dream of power and to act out their dream. How would an army act in dreams? Any way at all. it could be seen attacking anyone with anything. Dreams have no reason in them. A flower turns into a poisoned spear. A child becomes a giant, and a mouse roars like a lion. And love is turned to hate as easily. This is no army, but a madhouse. What seems to be a planned attack is bedlam. The army of the powerless is weak indeed. It has no weapons, and it has no enemy. Yes, it can overrun the world and seek an enemy, but it can never find what is not there. Yes, it can dream it found an enemy, but this will shift even as it attacks, so that it runs at once to find another, and never comes to rest in victory. And as it runs, it turns against itself, thinking it caught a glimpse of the great enemy who always eludes its murderous attack by turning into something else. How treacherous does this enemy appear, who changes so it is impossible even to recognize him. Yet hate must have a target. There can be no faith in sin without an enemy. Who that believes in sin would dare believe he has no enemy? Could he admit that no one made him powerless? Reason would surely bid him seek no longer what is not there to find. Yet first he must be willing to perceive a world where it is not. It is not necessary that he understand how he can see it, nor should he try. For if he focuses on what he cannot understand, he will but emphasize his helplessness, and let sin tell him that his enemy must be himself. But let him only ask himself these questions, which he must decide, to have it done for him. Do I desire a world I rule instead of one that rules me? Do I desire a world where I am powerful instead of helpless? Do I desire a world in which I have no enemies and cannot sin? And do I want to see what I denied because it is the truth? You may already have answered the first three questions, but not yet the last. For this one still seems fearful and unlike the others. Yet reason would assure you they are all the same. We said this year would emphasize the sameness of things that are the same. This final question, which is indeed the last you need decide, still seems to hold a threat the rest have lost for you. And this imagined difference attests to your belief that truth may be the enemy you yet may find. Here then would seem to be the last remaining hope of finding sin and not accepting power. This section teaches that while one is ready to let go of many aspects of sin, there still remains something that one holds on to. Beliefs in sin come with a sense of vulnerability to outside forces that one feels one has no control over. And thus one feels weak and powerless, and seemingly victimized by various so-called enemies. So in answering the four questions, the first three appear relatively easy to respond to. One does want to feel in charge in the world, to feel powerful, and to feel free of sin and have no enemies. However, one hesitates with the fourth question, which asks if one wants to see the truth that one has denied. One fears that truth might pose a threat here, demand some kind of sacrifice, and thus become an enemy. This is the unanswered question.